on in the woodyard, we got a brand new splitter. It's a Splitfire 4413. Let's give it a try. So I've done a few videos with Splitfire in the past when I've been at logging shows. At the Paul Bunyan show, I did a couple videos with them over the last couple years. And my buddy Tony has a Splitfire, the vertical one. And the company got a hold of me and said, hey, would you like to try out some of our splitters? I said, heck yeah, I like splitters. So they sent me this. It's brand new. Came all crated up really nice. I received it almost a month ago now. And the reason I haven't used it yet is before I went on my vacation to Alaska, I had a whole bunch of work I had to get done. And I got this about 2 weeks before I was going to be leaving, and I wanted to do a video before I left. I never got it done. But I'm back now, and I've been back for about a week. I got caught up with a lot of my other work, and I was gone for a couple of weeks. So it's been over a month since I've gotten this thing. And most people would start this up right away the same day they got it and try it out. And I've been itching to try it because I like running splitters, and this is a brand new one. Now, I've never run a Splitfire other than looking at Tony's a little bit, his vertical one that he's got, and I've done a little bit of splitting with a vertical one when I was at one of the logging shows, but I've never run one of their horizontal splitters. And if you're new to Splitfire, I've never heard of them, they make a lot of stuff. They make splitters, they make buckets, they make chippers, they make a bunch of different products. So they're a very diverse company. Well, they've been making splitters for a very long time. Now, I'm not going to give you the whole history thing about Splitfire. We'll talk about that in another video. And on this video, all I want to do is try this out. Now, being that I've never run one of these before, I really have not watched much of their videos. I watched just a little bit to know that it splits both ways and to know that there's two wedges. There's this wedge and there's another wedge in the back. This is the 4-way. There's also a single wedge that you can put on here. It has a Honda engine, got a tow package so you can tow it. It's got lights, it's got a hydraulic tank, it's got a log lift workstation, which is really nice. I don't know a lot about this, but that's okay, because that's how I like learning. Now, some guys would get the instructions out, read the instructions, study up on it, figure everything out, make sure they know how everything works before they start it up. Some guys would go watch a whole bunch of videos to see how it works. I'm not some guys. I just want to try it out. I'll figure it out as I go. It'll be a learning experience for me and you. So I kind of wanted to give you a fresh approach where a lot of people will do a lot of research and they kind of give you the sales pitch. I'm not going to give you a sales pitch. I'm going to talk about what I like and don't like, what I find out about it, what I learn about it. I'm going to talk about all the things I discover as I'm using this. So it'll be new for me, new for you. So this will be cool. Now, I've run dozens, maybe hundreds of splitters. So I'm pretty familiar with how they work. I'll figure it out. So I do know, I'll show you some features on it that I see right off. So first off, we'll start on this end. It's got a drop tongue, and it's bolted together. It's 2 pieces, well, 3 if you count the clasp up front. It is a 2-inch receiver. It's got electrical right here where you hook up for your lights, because there are lights on the back. You can see right here, and they're nice. I like this. This is really well done because it's protected. You're not going to smash them, because a lot of things that are made now are made where they're not made right, like my tractor for one. The lights that are on there, they're easy to break off because they stick out. They're not enclosed. This is nice. I like that. So that's cool. Now, we're going to stay on this end, seeing as we're over here. Look at that. It's got a Honda GX390. That's a nice engine. It's a bigger size engine. I'm not sure the horsepower on the 390. If I'm to guess, it's 10, 11-ish, somewhere in there. I'm just guessing. Could be wrong. It's got the nicer, bigger tank. Air filter, obviously it's a Honda, so everything's good about it. Everything works good. It's got your gas on and off right here, your throttle, and a choke. So pretty simple. Hondas just work. Best engines there are, in my opinion. It's got electric. It's not electric. It's a pull start, but it's got the on-off switch right here. It's kind of unique to the Splitfire is there is a protector bar here you can see that goes all the way across here so that you don't bump into stuff with the engine sticking out there. I like that. That's cool. I haven't seen that on anything before. So it's got a nice ram bumper kind of thing there. These here hydraulic piping I have no idea how this all works, but we're going to find out. So hydraulic tank obviously right here. And then here's your ram. It's mounted on the inside of this square tubing here. Looks like that's about 6-inch tubing. So that is totally encased all the way inside of there. So your hydraulics are inside of that case there. So that's kind of cool. That's protected really nice. That's a kind of a unique design. Obviously hydraulic tank, and they've got the fill right up here. Hydraulic filter. You've got your hydraulic controls. So one, I'm assuming this one right here is your ram forward and reverse because it goes both directions. And then this, I'm assuming because of where the plumbing goes, is the log lift control right here. Again, there's your filter, there's your pump. So yeah, pretty cool. It's got little wings here to help hold the wood in. This little protector here, I know why that's there. I figured that out when I looked at it right away. I thought maybe this would end here. That's there so that you don't have a piece of wood go down off this edge as it's splitting this direction and hit your pump back there. It's got a positive stop back here with some nice grippies. I like that. So it's got that on both ends. You can see this is a matching set here and here. And then this is your wedge, and that comes off with a real simple pin. It's like a pressure type pin. You just pop it off right here, and you can pull this wedge off. And I'm going to do that right now, and actually in just a minute, because your other wedge is conveniently mounted right here, your single wedge. It's right on the back here. It's pinned in, and you can see it's just got a big bolt in there that holds it in place. Here's your directions, instructions. And let's go down back over here again and see what else we can find on here. Now it's got some type of a plastic or nylon, I'm guessing that's nylon, slide where the ram runs on. I'm assuming that's what that is. That must be like a wear item that they have in there. So that's kind of cool. I've seen that on several other machines where they've got a nylon slide. So we're going to try that. So what's unique to this machine is it splits this way. It stops. You can take your splits or your quarters or halves or another log even, put it over on that side, and then it splits that direction. So instead of having your ram time go back and forth, stroke in, stroke out, this is just a stroke one direction, so you're always splitting. So that's kind of cool. I like that. That's very unique. So that's kind of their thing, I guess. Here is the number on it. Like I mentioned, it's a Splitfire 4413. And I think it's time we put some petroleum byproducts, put some gas in here, and we're going to start it up. But before I do that, I got to have something to split. So I just happened to have some brand new tree service wood that was dropped off while I was gone. There's a bunch of ash right here, some pretty good ones actually, some nice straight ones. I got my chainsaw out, my chaps, and my helmet. So I'm going to cut a bunch of rounds here right now. So then we're going to fire up this machine, the brand new Splitfire, and we're going to see what she'll do. Now another feature, it has this unique ram lift on it, the jack for jacking it up. And it's got a double wheel, which you don't see that very often. And I think that's going to work out better because it won't sink into the softer soil when I'm out in the wood yard moving it around. So that'll be cool. And it does flip up out of the way, so that's nice. So that when I am towing it, you don't obviously have that there. Another thing I just noticed after I was looking, it's got bigger tires, which I like that. These are the bigger tires. A lot of companies have small little bitty tires on their splitters. This is a nice size tire for the size of the unit, so very cool. Another thing, I really like red. Red is one of my favorite colors, probably right at the top. Probably. I don't know, I like a lot of colors, but red is awesome. Talk about stand out. It just looks cool, and they have the same color on all their units. They're a company that branded their stuff with this color, the red. And then they've got the yellow for their logo and for their numbers. And then if you look over here, look at that. They've got stickers. And it says Made in Canada. I knew that, but I thought I'd let you guys know. So it's Made in Canada. Very cool. It's time for me to get some wood cut and do some splitting. So there we go. I just cut about 1/3 of a cord. Yeah, pretty close, I think, because we're almost 10 feet long there, and yeah, probably about 1/3 of a cord. That's what I cut. And I cut some bigger ones here. So we're gonna try those. I got some smaller ones, and then down on this end I got a nasty, knotty, crappy one here. We're gonna try and see how that goes. And what I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna split these, obviously. I'm gonna use just the 4-way wedge, the one that it is mounted on it. So I'm gonna use this wedge pretty much for everything. And then I think at the very end I'll save just a couple rounds and I will use the single wedge. So that's what I'm gonna do. So it is time to fire it up. There it is. I just cut and stacked up the rounds that I cut. This is all ash. I cut about 1/3 of a cord, or a face cord if you like that language. There is a nasty, knotty one here we're gonna try at the end, because that's not a good one. The rest of them are pretty nice. Different sizes. There's some, like 10 inches here, and probably, I don't know, these are probably almost 20 inches here, some bigger ones. So thought I'd do a variety of different sizes and just see what happens. I think this is gonna be a good test to start with. Now, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use the 4-way wedge that is right here first, the one with the wings. We're gonna try that first. I'll do most of it with that. And then at the end, we will slap on the single wedge and we'll try that and see how that works. I think I'm gonna try to split this nasty one with the 4-way and just see what it does. See if it'll get through it, just to test it out, because that's the true test. Will a 4-way go through a nasty piece of wood? So it is time to do some split firing with the Split Fire 4413. We're gonna split fire. So I just spun it around, and right now I'm running at about half throttle. And I think I'm doing that just because it's never been run before. So I'm going to run at half throttle for a little while, let it warm up a little bit. And then we're going to do some splitting at half throttle and just see what it does. So we're going to throw a log on here and find out. There, I got a log on the log lift. So I'm thinking I'm going to operate from this side. And down is this way, up is this way. There we go, and that's all the way up right there. So you can reach easily across to the other side. Let's see how she does, half throttle. Oop, that's that. So you push the lever that way, it goes that way. You push the lever this way, it goes this way. Look at that, it's split. Pretty cool. Let's do another one going the other way. Okay, look at that, it splits both ways. I'll put this one here and we'll come back the other way. Look at that, still splitting. Just kind of throw all the stuff off to the side. I don't have the tractor bucket ready, so let's try this way. There, that splits. Do another one this way. Pretty slick. That works pretty good. So there you go. We just got 8 pieces. So now we're going to go down with the log lift. We're going to throw on a couple pieces here. Okay, a couple pieces and it rolls off. So looks like I gotta have the table up a little bit in order to load it because it rolls right off. So maybe it needs more of a bend. Something. Let's see, let's go up. So we'll go to right there and then I'll throw on some more pieces. So now I can probably stack up a bunch of them and it should be good. Let's see what happens here. That one there. Put this one that fell off down here on. Kind of stays. Okay, let's lift that up the rest of the way. There we go. All right, we roll this in. See what happens. There we go. Split on. Okay, we're going to throw this one back down. Let's actually do two of them, just because we can. And go back this way. There we go. And then let's do two back the other way. So one thing I can tell you right away, it's going to be a little awkward for me to get used to, a lot of red paint on there, is that the ram is the wedge. I'm used to it being that the ram is the ram and the wedge is stationary, but here the wedge moves. So now one thing I do know that a little bit of videos that I watched up from the company is that it's easier to get the pieces out after your wedge has gone the other way instead of fighting them here. But I'm going to take this one out anyway. So there we go. It's out. Let's try another one going the other way here. Go back again. No. Go back again this way. It's pretty slick. And then we'll grab the other one and go back again. So yeah, you're able to kind of clear the pieces out as your wedge is doing its work going the other direction. But sometimes you can pull it out. We'll give this one more shot here. Let's go up a little bit higher. Put that down just a little more. Yeah, that works. Okay, let's try another one here. Well, I think it's warmed up enough. We're going to crank it up to full power here. I'm going to put my earmuffs on a little louder. Here we go. Oh yeah, quite a bit faster. Nice. Jump out of here. Double back in there again. Very unique, I like it. Okay, there's the pile we did so far, and all I've got left are these two pieces over here. This one here is real knotty, all kinds of stuff, and then this one's got a big knot there too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out the 4-way and put the single wedge in, which is way down in this end. It's right here. So I'm going to pull that off, take this off. I'm going to figure out how to do this little button thing. I know it's just a little pressure button that you just push out on the side there. So I'll show you how that works right now, or I'll figure it out and I'll show you. Okay, so from what I remember, it's just a push. Oh, look at that. All it is a bearing with a spring. That is it. Oh, is that easy. And there it's back in. Wow, that is slick. Never saw anything like that. Well, I guess I saw it when he showed me when I was at the show, but I just didn't remember, like, how in the heck do they get that ball bearing in there? That's a solid piece. That is really something. Huh. Pretty cool. Somebody will tell me how they got that in there. Heat it up maybe. Cooled this off, heated that up, and it fits in just enough that there's a spring in there. That's cool. Okay, so there's your little pin. Set that over here, and I think this just lifts off. Look at that. Pretty simple. There it is. And I'm going to take this and set it on the ground right here. Pull that off. So again, it's the same thing. It's just got a little spring-loaded bearing in there. Pretty dang cool. That is slicker than greased oil dung, I tell you. Okay, so we're going to set this here. Slide this off. And I'm going to bring the 4-way over here and see how it slides on. I'm assuming it just slides right in like that. That's it. That's all there is to it. So I'll grab this pin and shove this back in. There you go. That's it. It's in. That is slick. That is cool. Never saw anything like that. That works really good. I'm sure that some of you are saying, oh, that's common. It might be for you, but it's not for me. Okay, so now we're back over here, and I'm going to put on the single wedge. And okay, so we're going to slide it on. I'm assuming it can go forwards or backwards. Probably goes either direction. And again, you just take this pin. It's in. It's that simple. Holy smacks. That's fast. That is fast, fast, fast. I like that. Okay, so now that we got the single wedge on, we're going to start it back up, and we're going to take these two crusty looking ones here and split these with the single wedge right now. There it is, the Split Fire 4413. Did I say 11 before? I meant to say 13. 4413 Split Fire. I like it. The four-way is a little more complicated because you got four pieces to deal with, and when you go one direction, you got four pieces sticking out. When you go back the other way, you bring another piece in, you got all this other stuff to take care of that's falling off. So obviously 2 people would be ideal. Single way, I only use it on those 2 pieces at the end there. That thing's awesome. I like it because it's simple. It's just back and forth. You probably noticed, I think the direction, I think it's going that way is faster than this way, just a little bit. I'm sure that's something to do with how the hydraulics work. Don't know, I'm not an expert on it, but I know usually you go one direction is faster than the other. Than most splitters, the ram goes forward faster than it retracts. Sometimes people can switch that around, but that's just the way it works. Plenty of power, powered through all kinds. This is nasty, dry, big ash here. Powered through it just fine. The log lift works good. The only thing is when you're really low with the lift, I find that if it's on the ground, you can only put on like one piece, because when you go to lift it, the gravity will push the other ones off, so you got to have it up a little bit. But if you're lifting one big piece, I think it would be just fine. You'd get it on there a little bit, hit the lever and kind of hold it and lift it. But like I was doing multiple pieces, trying to load it up, a little bit different because you obviously it's never going to be perfect. You're going to have all kinds of different sizes to work with. But power-wise, it lifts it just fine. I like the size of it, nice and big and smooth. I like that, the fact that you can just slide the pieces and roll them around. There's no teeth holding you back. This little bitty lip right here is just enough to stop the pieces from coming at you if you don't want any extra ones coming at you. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Now, I'm going to do at least a couple more videos with this. This is obviously the first one. We wore a little bit of paint off today, as you can see, which is fine. We did about 1/3 of a cord of face cord of wood, so a good little test. I see here there's a stamp on this. I'm guessing it's the manufacturing date. It says 2506, so probably June of 2025. Right now it's August of 2025, so it was made and then shipped right away. And like I said, I've had this thing for about a month now, maybe even a little bit more than that, because I was gone so much. I went on a trip, and before I left, I had just too much other stuff to do. So I've had this thing sitting here. I've been just really wanting to use it, and so far I like it. Little things that I noticed, I couldn't figure out this nylon slide here. Now I get how that works. It's basically going to keep everything clean so that you're not getting buildup in here, is what that is. So that works pretty good. The open end down there, stuff does fall in there, but just falls out the end. It's pretty easy to run. The single way, I think, is going to be awesome, especially for big wood or knotty wood or crotchy wood, the nasties. I think that's going to work really good. I like the fact you can go both directions. I think with 2 people, this will be very fast, because one person can just arrange the pieces and the other guy can just run the lever and just keep things going, and I think it would be really good. But even with one guy, it's fast because you're going both directions with your split, so I like that. The simplicity of changing these wedges out, it's unbelievably fantastic, super simple. I like that a lot. So yeah, pretty cool machine. So we did 1/3 of a cord. There's the pile. That's all I got for today, folks. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. with another video. Right now, go watch all the other videos. There's 1,800 on the channel waiting for you. Good night, Irene.